Hi you all, and welcome to my YouTube channel for those that are returning or for those who are watching for the first time. Today I am making my self-proclaimed best sandwich I've ever made, and this is a Blackened Salmon BLT Sandwich. Well, let's get right into it and get started here. So I am wanting to first give amazing praise to these beautiful heirloom tomatoes that I found at my local grocery store, which is Sprouts. I love heirloom tomatoes. They are just so special and, no point intended, but unique tomato. I got that green one, this sort of red and greenish one had a little bit of a hollow inside. Heirloom tomatoes are pretty unique, and they're always fun to see what they look like inside because it's always kind of a bit surprise. So I did the yellow, the green, and the red one for this recipe. They all pretty much taste very similar, but heirloom tomatoes just have a different taste to them that are just very good. And I had to use that for this sandwich. And again, the colors are just so beautiful, and we eat with our eyes first, or at least I do, and most people. Alright, so then after the tomatoes, we get some fresh dill sliced here. This cutting board was having a moment of its own, wanted to slip and slide across my table, but we ended up getting it worked out. I did use here my chef knife from the Cooking Guild, which will be in the comment below in the description of my partnership with them if you would like to get some really nice quality knives with a discount. Next, we're making the lemon dill mayo. So I had to scrape the mayo out of the mayo container I had, so it was the last of the mayo, so excuse the scraping, guys. But we do still get our sauce ready with our mayo, and we then add our sour cream, and I then squeeze a half of a lemon to this lemon dill mayo and then add our fresh dill. So we just give that a quick mix and get those flavors fully incorporated with each other. And this is a very easy sauce to make. It's perfect for a complement to salmon. So I'll let this get mixed up here. And next on our list of what we'll be doing as far as the layers of this sandwich is prepping our Butterleaf lettuce. So this is what I call like bougie lettuce. I got this beautiful lettuce here and just tore off a few pieces that I'll be using for the sandwich. Butterleaf lettuce is like what it sounds like. It's more like a buttery leaf, very fine silky leaf of lettuce. I don't like iceberg at all, so I tend to go with a lettuce like this one. And now we're going to get our bacon in a skillet. I used a thick applewood smoked bacon. Any bacon of your choice will do. So for those who are not pork eaters, you can definitely do turkey bacon. I prefer pork. And to get that nice and browned up here, and with this bacon, I render the fat and then save that for later, which I will show you guys later in this video. But I flip it a few times. I don't like my bacon soft. I like super crispy bacon. So here is my bacon at the point of it finishing and browned to the preference that I like. And now we're on to our salmon. I did forget to record the salt part of this seasoning, but I seasoned it with sea salt and black pepper, and this is blackened salmon, so I have a blackened seasoning. You could season that very generously. It's not salt, so you can season with a good heavy hand because of course you want that blackened flavor to come out. Now with a non-stick skillet, which I'll actually put in the description of this pot set that I use, and I get olive oil in the skillet, and then I get my salmon in there, the seasoned side, face down into the skillet on both pieces of the salmon that I cooked here. This can be skin on as well if you prefer your skin on your salmon. Some people do not. I then season the other side of my meat. I usually season my face side up on a, flat surface, on a cutting board or whatever I have, and I season my other side while in the pan. That way those extra seasonings that fall off are in my pan with my oils, and it stays there for my flavor and capture all of my yumminess that I need for my protein that I'm cooking. So again, season this with salt and pepper and the blackened seasoning. I then get a fish spatula to flip this over, and we'll flip over the other piece as well. Nice and easy. I don't want to break up the salmon, even though I end up breaking it up anyway on the sandwich, but for the cooking process, I want it to cook whole. So we're getting that seared up pretty nicely here. And then what I do is I get some water because you want to have your fish cook internally. So if you're not going to sear it in a pan and then put it in the oven, you get some water here. And this is my method of creating steam. As you can see here, gets the steam to continue the cooking process further of whatever protein you're cooking. And in this case here, I'm going to cover this with a lid to smother that steam with that fish in order for that to cook a little bit more and get that middle of that salmon cooked to perfection. And don't judge my lid, you guys, because the lid is definitely not for this pan. I don't have a lid for this pan, so I used the closest lid I could find, and it covered the fish, so I was fine with that. But anyway, I cooked the salmon for a few minutes. Took that lid off. The fish is nice and firm, but not overcooked. And carefully with the fish together, I removed it from the pan and let that set aside to cool and bring down its temperature, because we don't want to eat it at its peak of being too hot when we're kind of eating a mellow temperature kind of sandwich. Now this is where the bacon grease comes back into play. So I reserved the bacon grease. I strained all the bits from it, and I used that to sear my sourdough bread. So that BLT is extra special with that bacon sourdough bread here. You could usually use just olive oil or butter to do the same process, but why when I have bacon grease? I mean, it's a flavor building situation here. Alright, so now we're getting to the good part where we're going to assemble our sandwich. This is me adjusting to the camera view. I'm always trying to be aware of the angles. And we're first going to get a good layer of our lemon dill mayo onto both sides of the bread. You can go heavy or light, whichever is your preference. And make sure that's spread evenly. I like mine's a little bit heavy, so this is my preference of heaviness here. And then the next layer is our butterleaf lettuce. So just layer that accordingly. I wanted a good hearty bite, so I added a little bit more butterleaf lettuce here to my sandwich. And it's so beautiful, the green color here as well. And then we're going to get those beautiful heirloom tomatoes. I only used a few of what I cut, but I'll be doing another recipe with the other ones. And then next we're going to get our bacon. Nice and crispy, just how I like it. Again, you can go softer if you like. And then we get our piece of salmon placed right on top of that bacon. And I didn't want just to have a big piece of salmon in the middle of a sandwich. I wanted to still be more sandwich-like, so I decided to fork and spread the salmon. Almost shredded, but not really, still keeping its form for that to be a perfect bite in the sandwich. And then I added some fresh dill and served. I then topped that bread on top, and using my amazing knife, again I'll link below, cut that nicely in half and serve. This sandwich was so amazing. I hope you guys make the recipe, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below. Thank you.